one of my students who's been working so hard finally found a student. I laughed because I told him initially, I walked into Mother's office one day and she said, you're relieved of being on staff. Now you know what to do, now go out and do it. Go teach. I was so excited when I left to go out and teach. I thought, oh boy, I'm going to just teach. It was 9 years before I found one person who was ready to listen. Well, I knew, when the teacher's ready, the student appears. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's a converse, it's an as above, so below. And I realized that maybe I wasn't ready to teach, but I look at the difference in the quality of what we call the teachable moment. It's more frequent now. I meet people almost every day, every week for sure, that I teach that either didn't know or want to know. And all the time I meet them now. So I'm saying, well, this is either a vast improvement or maybe the teacher's getting more ready. I don't know. Whatever it is, there's a lot more teachable moments that occur. And my mother and my aunt were both teachers, and I grew up as a little boy. I'd sit in the car in Ellensburg, Washington, while my mother and my aunt went to Central Washington to work on their degrees. And I'm just hanging out, Well, I resisted all my life being a teacher. And I thought, well, I'm not going to teach. I'm going to go be. So I was too busy being to teach. And ultimately, when I found a path. This is talked about in my first two books, which I've reissued as a single volume. And book 1 and 2 are what we call dictations. And it's about my journey in discovering what activated me to doing what I do. And in that process, I recognize more continually how things have been opened up to me, and how in that process everything is being transcended. When I look back at even the third book, which is fairly recent, I say, well, there's so much that isn't in that book that we have discovered since that book was published. Where is it all? Where is it all coming from? In other words, this is what I call continued revelation. And it's going to continue. And I think that's one of the aspects about this that is so exciting, is that we're able to look at things that are occurring and read into them the truth. I actually have a CD of what I call basic decrees. And when we do decrees, we do a specific series of decrees. And we always start with the I am, take command. Because the bottom line is to get here as quick as you can, and stay there while you're doing everything else. That's the bottom line. Get into a position where the higher self is running the show. And then invoke the violet flame. The violet flame is something that you want to be conscious of. See yourself in that violet flame, in your inner eye, and just, I am the violet flame from Saint Germain. I am the violet flame from Saint Germain. It's very simple. And see it burning around you. And that's what we do. Sacred fire is activated by decrees. And you want to decree. I have to confess, I don't sit and do decrees anymore. I have become the decree. I always do. There's always a time when I end up doing decrees, but I've become the decree. When I was studying the Merkaba meditation, I did it faithfully for several years, and then I had the second level, and I did that faithfully for several years, and then I finally realized that I could do this like that, and it was done. It's a matter of establishing momentum with your higher self, and then, knowing when you've got that, when you've got the contact. See, energy follows thought. If you want to talk to Saint Germain, He says, yeah. He says, yeah. What is it? And he's there. Because when I say Saint Germain, bing, it goes to him. And there's no magic to it. But my confidence in the fact that I know he's listening is part of my ability to make contact with him. When are they going to be ready? It was like El Moria telling me, well, how many years is it going to take for you to claim the fact that you're ready to talk about this? Well, I guess my own fear or my own doubt is the only thing I have to deal with. So in other words, you're all destined to speak directly with your higher self. It's just a matter of when. When will you create that for yourselves? If you don't feel you have it now, work with the decrees until you feel you have it. Don't be afraid to be confident that you have it. Don't be overconfident either.